Welcome to Newark Made, where we bring you the voices of people shaping Newark's future. I'm Emily, and today I'm sitting down with Gail Friedberg, the co-founder and CEO of ZAGO Manufacturing Co. What started in an incubator space at NJIT is now a global company making sustainable ceiling fasteners and serving clients like Bose, GE, and Siemens. But what makes Gail's story even more powerful is her commitment to Newark. Through their Sustainability 360 program, ZAGO is investing in local youth, providing education, job training, and full tuition for employees. Gail is proof that you can scale a high-impact business and lift up the community around you. Gail, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Great to see you, Emily.
So before we get formally started, we want to ask a fun icebreaker question. What's one piece of advice you'd whisper in your own ear when you were just getting started?
Get comfortable with risk. Realize that there's so many challenges and you're going to be facing them every day, and just lean into them and enjoy the process.
That's great advice, I feel like, for even life, not just business. That's great. Thank you. So we've known each other for over 10 years. I met you, I feel like, on a Newark Made, a Made in Newark, Newark Made is our podcast, a Made in Newark tour of your factory. And it was amazing. I was, I think, an intern with the city, with the Economic Development Agency. We were doing a manufacturing initiative. We were touring different facilities. And we came to yours, and I remember just being very inspired by the work you were doing. So, fast forward, I think I was seeing you do things on LinkedIn, local job training, local talent. And so we're like, now we have this opportunity. I was like, I want to talk to you again about that. That's such a amazing thing that you do.
I appreciate that. And Made in Newark was really pivotal for us. Yeah. It got us out into the public. It got me comfortable going into the public, and it really helped us transform the company.
Yeah, well, I think everyone likes a factory tour, I remember, I think Mr. Rogers used to do that. It's interesting to see how things are made.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go back. So you founded ZAGO over 30 years ago, and you were here in NJIT in the incubator originally.
Yes.
So how did you find the NJIT incubator, but then how did you know it was time to leave the incubator, about 20 years ago, and find your current facility in the South Ward?
Well, we knew that being in a business incubator would be really helpful. And we looked at a few of them. We also, Stevens had one at the time. But the one at NJIT really was made for us. They had the support we needed. They just had great people there who really helped us get our business started. And they there was a guy, Jim, he gave us so much good advice, business advice, practical advice. So we got just a great liftoff there at the business incubator. And then after about 5 or 7 years, we were ready to graduate. And we first moved to the Ironbound.
Oh,
we
interesting.
rented space in the Ironbound, and we were there for about another 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And then we decided we wanted to hunker down in Newark and buy a building. So more than 20 years ago, we bought a building in the South Ward.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I've seen firsthand, that you've engaged local students in your business. I think when I toured maybe a year ago, I got to meet several of the students. Why is that important to, the students, but then why is that important to your business?
So manufacturing screws is fun. I have to say that. All the challenges, it's fun. But at the end of the day, you're also looking for meaning, and you're also looking to make an impact in the world. And your employees are too. And when we bring students in from all different places, it enriches us, and it enriches the students, and it enriches our employee experience. And we've had kids come from all different places. Last summer we had 6 interns from local high school they were all over the place doing all kinds of things. They were on the factory floor. They were helping us with our inventory. They were in the office. They were doing CAD drawings. Anything that an employee does, our interns were doing as well. And these were like 16, 17-year-old kids. And we have an established relationship with them. Actually, we're going to be doing a scholarship for the high school, and we're just going to keep the relationships going. One of the most meaningful relationships to me that we established with a student was a young woman, Jewel Aryeh, who was at a Catholic school in Newark, and she came to us one day a week, and we paid part of her tuition, and then it closed during COVID. Oh. And we worked with her to get her into Science High School, which is where Jackie went, and she went on to Villanova. But she's always around. Vacations. She comes in, even if it's just for like 2 weeks, or a summer. We'll take her as much as we can get her. We're hoping she'll come back and work in manufacturing eventually when she graduates. But if not, we've just created this great relationship, and we're so proud of her and the relationship. Another thing I wanted to mention is the work that we do with Spectrum Works, which is a nonprofit that gets kids who are on the autistic spectrum work experience and jobs. So we have a couple of high school, I think it's 3 Newark high school students who come in once a week and work with us. And we also had another young man who worked with us for about a year as an intern with support from Spectrum, and now he's a full employee of ZAGO, and we're hoping to continue that. So there's just, and it just meant so much to our employees to feel like they're part of, making good change in the world.
That's amazing. I mean, and that's what we want, right? Like, people hired into full-time careers in a growing, successful, thriving company. You mentioned Jackie. I know who Jackie is, but people here might not know. So can you talk a little bit about the role she plays in the company as well? Yeah.
So our vice president is Jackie Luciano. She's been with us almost 20 years, about 17 years. She grew up in Newark. Her mom was a single mom. She started working when she was 14 years old, just really ambitious. And she came to us as a part-time bookkeeper. She had just had her first child, and she wasn't looking for full-time work. But from the moment she came in, from the moment I interviewed her, she started telling me what we needed to do differently in the business. And I was like, all right, this is great. Yeah. So she's just taken on more and more responsibility. And we sent her to Rutgers Newark for her MBA, and she really just blossomed from there. And now she runs our day-to-day operations.
You're working with some big names. We mentioned Bose and GE. What's your approach to building and maintaining relationships with clients that are, at that level?
Honestly, it's the same regardless of the size of the client. Whether they're a small company or a gigantic company. And we work with the biggest companies also. But it's just about serving the client's needs. And it's a complicated world because when you're working with a bigger client, a lot of times they have their own platform. They want you to use their platform. So there's a lot of work that goes into onboarding and maintaining those client relationships. But at the end of the day, we just want to do the best possible job for all of our clients.
Right. That's a great point. It's that consistency and service level that helps you keep all your clients.
Yeah, every part that goes out the door gets, made with the same love and attention and gets the same quality checks regardless of who it's going to.
That's excellent. So you're also super active outside of ZAGO. You're on boards, you're involved in advocacy with NJMEP, NJBIA, and you're involved in the community. Why do you think that kind of engagement matters for someone in your position, like a CEO in your position?
I think that what you learn when you're engaged with other organizations is invaluable. I mean, seeing how they run, seeing how decisions are made in other organizations, then figuring out where you can add value. Everything that you do outside, brings back good things to your organization. I'm also on the council in my town. Okay. And I was the mayor in my town for about a year. Yeah, so that brought a whole different, and brought a whole different level of decision making and, understanding organizations.
Yep, but, understanding people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, learning how to please those customers.
Yeah.
Which it's business is easier.
Yeah.
People like to say, you can transfer what you learn in business to government, but they're two very different things.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So here's like a fun data point. So Essex County is home to almost 700 manufacturing businesses and employs over 15,000 people. With your experience, leadership kind of in the sector in the state, where do you see Newark's role in the future of manufacturing?
Well, first of all, Newark is so well placed for a manufacturer. We are so close to Newark Airport. We're like right at the end point of so many highways. We get everything in and out really quickly. We do a lot of export, and we can just get things like shipped internationally, almost immediately. So Newark is just so well placed in terms of, import and export. I guess we'll leave the tariff issue alone for now. It's a great business infrastructure. Newark has always been about business and about making things. It's been an industrial city since there's been industrial cities. So, it's just an ideal space to make.
Yeah, that's excellent that, so you're using kind of your location and it's an important part of your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. So we always like to end by asking our guests to pay it forward. Can you shout out a Newark business or two Newark businesses you really love and tell us why you think everyone should check them out?
Well, I have to give a shout out to Unionware and my friend Mitch Kahn, who's the owner of that business. It's just a great company. They make great hats and bags, and everything is made by union employees, which I think is really terrific. I've known him since our Made in Newark days, and I'm so happy to, still be in touch with him, still be working with him. And then the other place is a franchise, usually about the mom and pops, but the Salad House down the street. I order in from there every single day. So if they want to open a place in the South Ward, we'd really welcome you down there.
Yeah, I think we're almost like right on top of them right here.
Yes,
so that's great. Gail, thank you so much for the insight.
Oh, thank you, Emily.
Thank you. And thank you also for everything you're doing, not just to grow a company here in Newark, but grow the whole ecosystem. To everyone listening, if you've ever thought that manufacturing was old school, Gail just proved it's the future and it's happening right here in Newark. Be sure to subscribe, share the episode, and come back for more conversations with the people who are Newark Made.